Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. But breaking news happened yesterday and we have the announcement trailer for MotoGP 24. MotoGP 24 drops on the 2nd of May 2024, and now let me tell you, I am ecstatic. I cannot wait for the 24th installment of MotoGP to arrive. But before we watch Takaki Nakagami ride around Aragon, let's head over to the MotoGPvideogame.com website and let's take a look at a few features already named on the website. So here we are, MotoGP 24, 2nd of May 2024. You can pre-order now at your local stores, online and everywhere else, and of course you can watch the trailer as well. Interesting to see that they are still running backwards compatible games such as PS5 and PS4, so the last gen consoles are still going to get some running, I meant the PS4 and Xbox One rather, and in a way the Nintendo Switch as well, so that does hold back development a little bit, but should be okay nonetheless. Does mean that everyone gets to play the latest installment of MotoGP. Announcement happened yesterday, which I'm recording today, but I'm speaking to you from the future. So that happened yesterday, and here we are. It only happens in MotoGP 24. But let's not waste any time. It's happened. It's finally happened, ladies and gentlemen. The riders' market transfers. Look at Pecco Bagnaia in the Yamaha, Marco Bezzecchi in the Aprilia, Fabio and Factory Ducati. These are what dreams are made of, and it has happened finally. Few things to mention with this. I did notice just a small detail, which I think will be fixed because I've read a few rumours in the MotoGP server. Every single one of these riders is either Alpine Stars or Dainese. Also in the trailer, the boots never changed colours, but the gloves went all to that traditional white glove. So I'm curious if that's just an early stage of MotoGP 24, or if we get the full game, maybe all the riders just get generic helmets, boots and gloves. I really hope that isn't the case, but yeah, riders market, let's talk about that in a moment, but let's get into a few more details before we move over to my part of the video, and that is the wish list. So MotoGP Stewards. The new MotoGP Stewards monitors races and time session to guarantee fair racing. Both AIs and player unfair behaviour is now sanctioned according to what happened on the track. Big question mark with this one here, because it could either go really well and the players and the AI both succumb to penalties, which is fair, or it could be a case of the AI whacks you and you get a penalty for something else. So I'm a little bit hesitant about that, but sounds like we're going in the correct direction, so I'm really positive about hearing about the AI getting penalties. It's something I've wanted for a long time. Adaptive difficulty and accessibility, to be honest, I'm myself and a lot of the aces, we're not really looking at this sort of information. For the newer players out there, then I absolutely implore this sort of direction to help players get used to the game and get better at MotoGP 23 and 24 rather, and that is exactly why I make content, because I want players to be just as good as I am, if not better. So with adaptive difficulty and accessibility, it is about enjoying new adaptive difficulty technology that dynamically matches the AI difficulty to your skills. For every player to have equal fun, check out all the accessibility supports. I also know jargon and I know business. That to me is very much probably similar to what we already have, but probably with a bit of rubber banding in there as well. So I'm not too convinced that's a new feature as such. I think that's very much similar to what we've already had. So let's move on to the third of the four new features we've got rather. And racing is also a matter of style. Express your passion for the MotoGP and customize your rider. I'm going to get into that later because I think already that's going to be very much the same as what we already have, which is excellent, may I add. It looks fantastic. I've got my personal designer, Sergio23, who makes incredible designs, and they look awesome. So for that, I think everything is pretty much going to be what I imagine. We'll get to the wish list later on, which discerns that part of this video. Now, of course, before we continue, I would like to remind you to like, comment and subscribe if you're enjoying the video so far, but if not and you're not enjoying it, I guess you're probably already gone, so we'll continue as we are. Now, I'm going to say straight off the bat, crossplay is not in 24 if you're on PC. Crossplay available only between the PlayStation and Xbox consoles. That's not great, but it is what it is. There's obviously some sort of licensing issue between Steam, the Game Pass version and everything else. I don't really know, I don't understand. But I did see here live GP championships. I was really keen on live GPs for quite a while in MotoGP 23 until a lot of pillocks started to cut corners in Assen and just start cheating. But the live GP championship really excites me for an idea of something different amongst our own style of recording and racing championships where we do with the aces. So I'm quite keen on the idea about that. So we'll definitely touch base upon that again, but I am keen to see what's going to happen there. Love the inclusion of local split screen. End of the day, I don't care if it's 2023, 2024, 2025, doesn't matter. Split screen is awesome, it's great for local players. Not something I'll be using, but please include that because I can't imagine it being that much of a difficulty to add. So, ladies and gentlemen, it only happens in MotoGP 24, but it happens on this channel as well, so definitely get subscribed. But that is it for MotoGP 24, what we know as of yet. So, let me take a moment to move across back over to here, and let's start discussing my personal ideas and some suggestions from the aces as well. I want to give a big thank you to all the aces in the Ace Academy Discord server. I asked the question, what would you like to see in MotoGP 24, and they delivered. They answered loads of things, and there's some fantastic inclusions which would really add to the experience here in the next MotoGP game. So first things first, one thing that popped up quite a lot is something you would probably expect. Your rider is your virtual identity. It's the player that you would long to be if you could be that real life person. I want to be my real life rider going head to head with an Bastianini in career mode. So we need a little bit more personalization and customization. Think about a few things. The player editor to be able to change height, to change the beard, to change the face, to change the shape of one's face, and even add maybe an older colour. So for example, if you're an older man, if you're in the mid-40s, maybe you want to have a little bit of white beard, just to make that rider yours, rather than looking like Sergio Garcia. Bear in mind, this is nothing new. As you can see on screen right now, this is Monster Energy Supercross 6, and this was the thing. You could change the colour of your beard, you could change the colour of your hair, you could even give yourself facial hair. I'm a man who very much favours a moustache. I like to have a moustache. I want to add that to my rider. So little things like this is something that Milestone have already implemented before. There's no reason it can't be implemented again. I imagine, I can understand, and I can sympathise that it's probably not on the priority list for Milestone, but it would be enjoyable to make your rider yours a little bit more. Even earrings. Everybody wants a Valentino Rossi style earring. I think even Enea Bastianini has the same earring, and Marco Bezzecchi has the same earring as Valentino. Personally, I'm not a fan of earrings, but that's a point for someone else, I'm sure. But we would really like to even change the height and things like that. It would just make a lot more sense. It would make your rider yours, and it would be great. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier about having a designer, Sergio23. I'll always give him a shout out when possible, because he does incredible designs. And he has mentioned gloves and boots to be edited. Can you imagine that? Marc Marquez and Bastianini has different style boots. Fabio Quartararo has his number on it. Dovizioso had his number on it. Valentino had the VR46 with the sun and moon. Allow us to customise boots and gloves. That would be sensational. I'm a guy who very much cares about my brand. I love my helmets to be designed a certain way. I'd love for the boots, the numbers and the gloves all to look identical, to really match the feel of being a rider. One thing I always criticise about changing rider and bike within MotoGP games is that sometimes you get horrible knee sliders or that look terrible. Even maybe the elbow sliders look awful as well and they don't match anything else. Full customization of things like that would be absolutely amazing. Even at the very least, the smallest inclusion of more suits would be ideal. I want to use RST, I want to use Ixon, I want to use something different that isn't just Alpine Stars or Dainese. That would be a welcome change. Now, touching base upon the AI, we discussed earlier on regarding AI having penalties now and having to sort of take the long lap penalties and suffer the consequences of taking another rider out. That's something we've all been very passionate about for a while, but I would also like to see a little bit more. Now, I think this is one of those things that's going to be personal. Same as the bike retrieval was in MotoGP 22, players had it, they enjoyed it, the novelty wore off, they turned it off. If the AI suffered those same consequences, if the AI suffered damage, if the AI suffered mechanical faults, if the AI suffered tyre wear. That would make it for me an even more special encounter. You see your main competition in a championship running soft tyres and you think, I'm not going for the soft, that's too risky. I'm not prepared to take that gamble. You take the medium and you see that rider slowly come back to you during the race. Little things to add the detail and to, I quote, make MotoGP the place to be. What was it? It was something on the lines of, it only happens in MotoGP 24. Then why not let it only happen here in 24? That would be great for me. I would really love to have that. Now I am going to go back over to the customization because I kind of skipped a point here. And I'm going to use Monster Energy Supercross 6's example once again. So big thanks to Supercross 6. It did have a purpose after all on the channel. And that is to look at animations. This has been mentioned quite a lot in the Ace Academy server and it's come up a few times. We have had the same Parc Fermé podium celebration for quite a while. The rider reacts the same way across the line. Sometimes you could have had the most intense battle and you might get a fist bump. I want to see my rider go absolutely mental, punch the screen on the motorcycle if possible. Probably not due to our licensing and damaging the product, probably wouldn't work. But just on the screen right now with Supercross 6, celebrations. Just choosing a celebration as you finish the ride. So simple, so easy. Would be amazing just to have that, just to make things and the experience a little bit more personal to you. Once again, before I go off into another tangent, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I certainly hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, let me know. And don't forget to let me know your suggestions for MotoGP 24. But now moving across, I wanted to still discuss the feel of MotoGP. I was actually mentioning this in my MotoGP 23 review. They introduced the white flags and the flag-to-flag races. Amazing. Absolutely awesome. Terrific feature. I love it so. However, it's a bit flat. The Parc Fermé, well, the podium, the pit lane celebration, should I say, it's flat. There's no one in the pit frantically panicking and moving motorcycles around. They're all very much stagnant. I'd like to see a bit more hustle and bustle in the pit lane. More fans, camera work, anything else that we could see that makes the experience feel a little bit more lifelike. Something else to even mention is, I mentioned it in the review of 23, white flags. Get the marshals out there waving flags. I want to see the flags waving from the marshal. I want to see his hand going absolutely haywire, waving the flag to let you know there's been a crash, or it's a white flag, you can head back into the pits. I do get it's a little bit redundant now that we have the LED banners and the LED boards, but it's not redundant completely. We still have marshals, we still need marshals, and we need the flags to be waved in MotoGP 24. Little things like that just make my experience better. The immersion, think of the immersion milestone, it would be great. And finally, just a few more points regarding the look and feel, the aesthetics of MotoGP 24. I want to see plumes of smoke bellowing from the stands. You can't go to Italy and to Mugello without seeing massive plumes of yellow smoke for the one and only greatest of all time, Valentino Rossi. When you go to the Ducati grandstand near Corantaio, what are you looking at? A huge red smoke screen. Because the Ducati grandstand, Bologna, you name it, you know what it is, it's red. I want to see little things like that, it would just make it so good. Crossing the line at Qatar. This year when MotoGP concluded, when Pecco Bagnaia won the race, huge fireworks exploded. I want to see that in MotoGP 24. Make this game the one to remember forever. I'm so excited about it, but yeah, it's just a few more ideas as well. Top of my head, we did see in the Discord server, Mad Max made mention to it, so it's imperative we discuss it. It's just I didn't know where to put it. We need replays, and yeah, you know what you're thinking, there's already replays in MotoGP 23, but we need to be able to save replays. Being able to watch my content back and then include replay footage into my career mode would take the content to the next level. The only other way for me to do that would be to sit and record my entire race again. And with me doing 50% races, it cuts off. You only usually get maybe from the third or fourth lap on, you don't get the entire of the race, so that definitely needs to be looked into. I think it's a bit ambitious to think it into MotoGP 24, but for the sake of those who do online championships and competitions like myself, we do need some sort of replay feature so we can watch back these races, and honestly, it'd give me a great opportunity to make some good thumbnails and better content as well. Now before I do conclude, we do have to mention a few bugs that need ironing out and fixing, one of those being the servers. Every single time we go online, it is a question mark to understand, are we going to get a good server or are we not? And more times than not, it's not. We usually end up getting a terrible server which can completely destroy any form of clean, action-packed racing within MotoGP 23. I would really like to see some better servers in GP24. And if the worst case scenario, let us choose the server what would be better for us. Might be asking a lot from a developer that's relatively still small, but I would like to see that in the future because so many races have been ruined by bad internet connection. Well, bad servers. We've all got decent connection, it's just that the servers go to heck to a handbasket. Finally, just a few more mention as well. I'd be remiss to not mention any of the designs actually remaining the same way. Picture here on board right now is Cheshire Charlie's number 66. As you can see, every single time he seems to launch this game, every single time there's been an update, the lines get weirder, the gaps get bigger, and everything looks to be a complete mess. I can assure you he's a lot better at designing than this looks. It's just that the game keeps bugging out and it has this issue. So I would like to see that very much removed as well, so he can make liveries, make numbers, and make helmet designs without them all going Pete Tong. But guys, I think that's it. So I want to say a big thank you to watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's a little bit different for me to just waffle and talk all the way through it. I hope I didn't talk too much. I am guilty of doing that, but it's key to know your own flaws. But I guess that's it. So guys, don't forget to let me know in the comments section down below what you think you would like to see in MotoGP 24. Let me know how you're feeling with the announcement so far. Are you excited? Are you pumped? And are you ready for MotoGP 24? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you're still unsure, I don't think you would be, but I'm going to mention it anyway. If you're unsure what the market transfer means and the rider transfer means, it basically means in career mode, your riders may not stay as they are. So if you're in MotoGP and you have Pecco Bagnaia on the factory Ducati, the next season he might move over to a different team. I still need to know and understand whether this is applicable to Moto 3 and Moto 2, so I'll probably do a follow-up video specifically for the riders transfer because I think that's the most intriguing part and aspect of MotoGP 24. Final thought on that, a little bit of a wish list as well, I guess, from the Aces. We'd like to see Moto 3 riders move up to Moto 2, Moto 2 riders to move down, Moto 2 to move up, and MotoGP to move down as well. But we'll see when we get there. I think there's still a lot of questions still yet to be answered with that, so I'm just going to mention the good parts and then we'll discuss the rest later. But guys, I've said too much. I've waffled too long. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.